What is going on, peasants? My name is JB, and I am your coach of the Las Vegas Cinderaces, back here today with my draft analysis for Season 8 of the IBL. We have a pretty quick turnaround from last season, and we as a team are going to be looking forward to potentially going a little bit further than we did last season when we lost in the first round of playoffs. We would love to finally pick up that championship here in Gen 8, and what better place to do it than here in the IBL. Now, before we get into the team and some other shoutouts that I want to go over, there's something I want to talk to you guys about. I was checking my analytics recently, and 81% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you've been watching a few videos, if you've been sticking around for a while, consider hitting subscribe. It'd mean a lot to me. I'd love to hit 300 subs by the end of the year. That'd be lit. So if you're not subbed, why don't you go ahead and click the button? And if you are subbed, really appreciate you. And I have a couple questions I want to ask you guys. I believe this is a 10-week season. Might be 12. I think it is actually 12. Whichever one it is, 10 or 12. Let me know what you think my record is going to be, and let me know what you think my kill leader is going to be. You guys are going to see the entire team as a whole, because that's how the draft slides worked for this season. They just want to talk about the full teams as a whole, rather than, you know, pick by pick, just to get the just to show the draft stream wasn't like 4 hours long. So you guys are going to be able to see my whole team. So once you see that, let me know what you think my kill leader is going to be in the comments. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into a couple shout outs. I want to give a shout out to my boy Beast Graphic, of course, for the super sick Cinderaces logo. I'll leave his link in the description, as well as the link to all the other coaches whose draft analysis will be going up between today. I'm uploading this right after the stream, so if you guys stop by that on Radioactive's channel, shout out to you guys for that. Brendan was also the co-host, and shout out to Brendan, who is the commissioner of the IBL, for letting me come back. And that's really all I got to say in terms of shout outs. So before we you know, get into the actual team, let's go ahead and go over some rules and whatnot. So the IBL is a league that allows Gigantamax forms, where, you know, in past generations you had your mega slot. They allow you to draft the Gmax, and in some Gen 8 leagues they've been nerfing Gmaxes to where they have to hold a Pokeball. Not in the IBL. Here in the IBL, we like chaos. We like to let things just destroy. We like when Pokemon just destroy everything. So we allow our Gmaxes to hold any item they want. So boosting items, resist berries, whatever, man. Your Gmax can do whatever you want. There's no restrictions. So other than that, though, it is a standard tier-based draft with your tier 1, your tier 2, 2 tier 3s, a tier 4, and a tier 5. Your Gmax slot, which can give you more or less free points for your 4 free picks. And little to my knowledge, the draft order was actually decided by the previous season's final standings. So having lost in the first round of playoffs, that you know, I had a pretty good record. So you know, that's pretty good, right? You would think, you know. No, well, I kind of ended up getting shafted by having, well, a good season, but like the worst outcome for having a good season. I lost in the first round of playoffs, and in the next season I end up with the 11th pick out of 16 coaches, which, if you watch my BBR draft, I explained why having, you know, a pick from 8 to 12 in a 16-man draft is just the worst possible spot to be in. You're not top 5 on either wheel. You're not even top 3 on either wheel, obviously. It's just the worst spot to be in. You're always like multiple, like, it's just never your turn, man. There's always just a lot of picks in between your next 2 picks. Obviously not as many as like a wheel pick, but you get a wheel pick. So bruh, it's just rough. I hate it. It's the worst spot to be in, and unfortunately I had the exact same position 2 drafts in a row, so there was no way I was going to be able to build around the Pokemon that I actually wanted to build around. It's rare for me to go into a draft wanting to build around a specific Pokemon, but there was one that I wanted to build around this time, and wouldn't you know it, that Pokemon went number 1 overall. It was Gmax Rillaboom. I have a cool idea for drafting Gmax Rillaboom, and I just think Rillaboom's a really cool Pokemon. It's one of my favorite Gen 8 mons, period. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait a little bit to get that Pokemon on our squad. We did, however, have another pretty cool Gmax fall to me at my pick 11. So let's go ahead and get into it. And like I said, you guys will be able to see the whole team. Let me know what you think my kill leader is. I'm gonna go in order of just how I picked them, and, you know, talk about what they provide for the team and whatnot, just because I think it's easier that way. And yeah, that's just how I'm gonna do it. Anyway, so the Pokemon I took with my first pick was Gmax Grimmsnarl. And basically, it was the only fun Gmax left on the board, in my opinion. Your stuff like Zard went, your obviously Rillaboom went, which I already talked about. Venusaur went, like a lot of really cool Gmaxes. Both their Shifus went, like everything fun was just gone by the time I got around to me. And if you've been watching my BBR run, I mentioned in my draft analysis over there that Grimmsnarl was one of the Pokemon that I wanted to use the most. I did have it in PCL, but that league died, RIPCL. So I wanted to grab Grimmsnarl in a league and actually be able to use it. And we went ahead and decided to grab Gmax Grimmsnarl because, well, It's an absolute monster. It's a great setup threat, as opposed to, you know, just more of a screen setter that you would see on like the ladder. G-Max Grimsnarl is a fantastic just setup sweeper with having access to Prankster and Frisk, two of the absolute best abilities in the game in my opinion. Both, like, if I were to do a like one of those tier ranking videos, I would personally put Prankster and Frisk both in like S tier. I think those abilities are fucking phenomenal, and having access to both, you know, priority setup, priority screens, priority taunt as well is just phenomenal for a Pokemon like Grimmsnarl. And something else worth noting about Grimmsnarl is it can actually be ran both physical and special. It has an underrated special attack stat and an underrated special move pool. That special attack stat is 95, which isn't great, but it's not awful, especially when paired with Nasty Play. It has a fun move pool and coverage to hit Steel types, which are the main switch-ins to a Pokemon like Grimmsnarl, on actually both physical and special side. It has a ton of fighting coverage, it has Fire Punch, and it also has Focus Blast, which is of course fighting coverage as well, but it, you know, has physical and special fighting coverage to hit Steel types. And something else that's not really relevant to why I picked it, but Grimmsnarl is my favorite design mon in Gen 8 by far. I just love it, and I love its design, and on top of it just being an absolute monster, it was really a no-brainer for me to pick with my first selection here in the IBL. So our next pick, this is something else I've mentioned in previous videos and draft analysis, is that good steel types are really hard to find in Gen 8 later in drafts, because a lot of the good steel types are such high-end like Pokemon, such as your, you know, your Jirachis, your Excadrills, your stuff like that. And I was able to get a really good steel type and another Pokemon that I really wanted to use with my second pick, and that was Corviknight. As you guys can see, getting Corviknight in round 2 is fantastic value. It has a great support move pool with stuff like Taunt, Defog, U-Turn, all paired with amazing abilities with like Pressure and Mirror Armor, two very good, very annoying abilities. Pressure, obviously, you know, just getting rid of your opponent's PP, and you can just roost off hits, and all of a sudden your opponents are struggling quite literally to deal with Corviknight. And Mirror Armor is really fantastic for certain G-Max moves that would want to lower your defense. I can't think of what the ones off the top of my head right now are that lower defenses or attack. Like, I know Max Strike lowers speed, but like Mirror Armor will bounce that back, or like Intimidate, like Mirror Armor will bounce that back. It's really good, really fun ability. Definitely something we can look to take advantage of potentially in certain matchups. And on top of, you know, just being a really great support Pokemon and just a really hard Pokemon to kill, it removes one of the better checks to Grimmsnarl, and also it pairs very well with it as well, forming, you know, 2/3 of a Fairy Dragon Steel Core. And it also helps deal with fairies that Grim can't really break through on its own. You'll see with, and you guys can already see, but my next few picks were really centered around getting rid of fairy types so that Grimmsnarl could put in a ton of work. So yeah, having a great steel type really helps with that. And also Corviknight is an underrated setup threat with, obviously, you know, bulk up body press sets, access to agility is nice, and then power chips, you know, you can get really out of hand with something like a weakness policy potentially. Give it a great opportunity to have sweeping potential in the right matchups. So next up, our third pick was Arcanine. First off, it's just the best boy. Look at the popper. If you guys can see like my channel art, it has an Arcanine in it. It's because one of my, like, it's legitimately 1 or 2, 1A or 1B favorite Pokemon of all time with Dragonite. But yeah, it's just the bestest boy. It's a good popper. And like I said, dude, I am wanting to get rid of fairies so Grimmsnarl can have just even more fun running through teams. So Arcanine provides a fantastic fairy switch-in, taking pressure off Corviknight, you know, having to deal with fairies that have good coverage for it, you know, fire moves specifically, which can help open up, you know, like I said, Grimmsnarl to win more games. It also provides potential flash fire immunity if needed to help cover Corviknight, and Intimidate, also being one of the best abilities, you know, again in the game with access to Willow, helps Arcanine deal with, you know, like a lot of physical threats, so it has access to Recovery and Morning Sun, and dude, it just loves boots. And did I mention Teleport, dude? Telepopper is definitely gonna be a thing. I know it's not great on Arcanine, but like, bruh, Telepopper, all right? It's a fucking blink dog, dude. That's a D&D reference for those of you who, you know what D&D is. So you gotta work in a D&D reference. Anyway, Arcanine is also a Pokemon that can be ran offensively very easily as well. It's primarily known as like a defensive Pokemon, but it has some really good offensive coverage with, you know, stuff like Close Combat, E-Speed, Wild Charge, obviously Fire moves out the ass. Also gets access to Crunch, Play Rough, Psychic Fang, stuff like that. Just a really good move pool, great bulk, good speed tier. It's a Pokemon that's just gonna outspeed a lot of other, you know, like defensive Pokemon, which is really nice, something that you always want to have. And yeah, dude, very much looking forward to Arcanine. It's a Pokemon that I've used in the past and won championships with and like showdown leagues and stuff. So yeah, Arcanine, the best boy, just the best boy. So next up, did I mention I want to get rid of fairies? Fairies suck, and I want Grimmsnarl to get a ton of kills. So we went ahead and grabbed Scolipede next. For those of you wondering, Baton Pass is banned, so no Speed Pass, unfortunately, but it's still an amazing fit on this team, providing a solid speed tier with base 112, which is only boosted, of course, by Speed Boost. It has a great offensive move pool, with, of course, I'm going to mention Speed Boost again, and Sword Stance, making it like a really terrifying like late game cleaner, or just in the right matchup, it can just be a win con if you can get a Sword Stance up at any time, really, and just go to town. It has, you know, really good coverage with stuff like its dual stab being very hard to switch into in Bug and Poison, Earthquake, of course, Rock Slide, Aqua Tail. It doesn't have a ton of coverage, but like it has the right coverage for a Pokemon like this. The only thing it's like really missing is good like fighting coverage for steals, but then it has Earthquake. I mean, obviously, if it had like, you know, perfect coverage, it'd be better, but like, you know, nothing has perfect coverage, but it has enough coverage to hit a lot of things that it needs to hit. And not to mention, it also provides fantastic team support with both Spikes and T-Spikes, which is just really annoying. T-Spikes plus Corviknight is just, who wants to play that? And also, it is a grounded poison absorbing T-Spikes if needed. And something else worth mentioning, it's one of John Jr.'s favorite Pokemon, which just makes it that much better. The thing about opposing T-Spikes being able to absorb those is actually really important on a team like this. As you can see, we don't have a lot of removal on this team, so that is something that is worth noting. It you know, being able to absorb those is very nice, because we literally only have 2 removal options on this team, which again is something I've mentioned in the past. I think removal is super overrated in Gen 8 Draft League, unless you just have a team that is stupid weak to it and you're forced to run like mono boots. I'm not forced to run mono boots on this team, so I don't really care about it. I think like hazards are meh, whatever. I have a few ways of removing them if I need to, which is all I really care about with a team like this. Next up, at this point, my team was overwhelmingly like physical, and it pretty much is for the most part. But the only other mon at this point that I knew I wanted was physical, so I knew I needed to balance it out a little bit, which is why I grabbed Celebi next. It fills in the speed gap between Scolipede and Arcanine at 100. Grass typing gives me a ground resist to take some pressure off Corviknight. If I need to switch into Earthquakes, probably not, whatever. Also gives me my first Stealth Rocker, and has a really fun move pool with some fun new toys and Aura Sphere for like dark types I would want to switch in. And Weather Ball, I think that's new, not really sure, but it gets a lot of fun stuff. It can be ran physically with, it does have access to Sword Stance, but it's more of a special attacker with great coverage and awesome support moves with stuff like Healing Wish, Heal Bell, U-Turn. I've already mentioned Nasty Plot. Yeah, just a great Pokemon all around. Something that I think is really fun on this team, because I have a lot of U-Turn switch-ins on this team. 3 out of my 4 Pokemon so far resist, or 3 out of my 5 Pokemon, I guess, now resist U-Turn. And you see we have, you guys can obviously see the entire team, but yeah, we have a few U-Turn checks, so I'm not super worried about that weakness to Celebi. And I think Celebi can actually put in a lot of work on this team, whether it be, you know, in a more support role, or if it gets the right matchup, just clicking some damn buttons. So next up, our next pick was the only dragon I even considered, and that's just simply because I wanted to use Druddigon. It's just a really cool Pokemon. I really like Druddigon, and for my money, I think, like, in terms of Pokemon with 3 abilities, find me another Pokemon that has 3 better abilities than Druddigon. Like I mentioned earlier with Grimmsnarl having, you know, Frisk and Prankster both being S tier abilities, I'm pretty sure all 3 of Druddigon's abilities I would probably put in S tier as well. Rough Skin, Sheer Force, Mold Breaker. Mold Breaker, absolutely S tier ability, one of the best abilities in the game, bar none. Rough Skin, maybe like an A, B tier. You could talk me into A tier, but it's a very, very good ability nonetheless. And then Sheer Force, bruh, like, it's just clicks buttons, bro. Druddigon's a really, really cool mon, and it was something that I definitely wanted. It was, like I said, it was the only dragon I even considered for this team once I had Grimmsnarl, Corviknight. I knew I had to get like a lower tier dragon. It was like that, or Turtonator, like fucking what's the other mon I'm thinking of? Drampa. Drampa's cool, but like, dude, Druddigon's lit. I'm really excited to use Druddigon. Gives me another Stealth Rocker and a very hard hitting mon, especially considering it will rarely be ran purely offensive, and it'll just always do big damage. Because it has a massive attack stat at 120, and oftentimes you're going to be investing to live like as many hits as possible. It doesn't have recovery, which is one knock on it, and the other knock being that it's slow, but whatever, dude, I don't care. It's going to be really fun, and I'm very excited to use it. Once again, it has another amazing move pool with coverage all over the place, good support moves with like rocks. It has Slow Taunt, which can't be ignored. Slow Taunt's actually really underrated, in my opinion. Roar, Dragon Tail for phasing out potential setup threats, and the big one obviously is Glare. Glare's just, bruh, Glare is busted. Glare is stupid. I'm gonna have a ton of fun with Druddigon. I'm very excited to use it. Next up, I was looking at, potential matchups a little bit. I'm like, I get 6-0'd by Fishy Boy. Let me go ahead and get myself a water immunity. So that's why we went ahead and grabbed Jellicent. Nah, that's not the only reason we grabbed Jellicent. Jellicent's a really good water type. It's very good bulky water, and it provides like that mid speed tier that this team really needed, as well as just one of like the top tier just annoying Pokemon. Like, bro, Jellicent is legitimately like one of my 3 to 5 least favorite Pokemon to play. Every time I see Jellicent on my opponent's team, I just fucking sigh because I hate playing Jellicent that much, and now it's on my team, so I don't have to worry about it. But it's just a very underrated mon that will always just do something in games it comes to, whether that be living one hit, getting a Scald Burn, or just annoying the shit out of your opponent in general. It has just an insane move pool, dude, in terms of both offense and defensive / team support. Great type coverage with like stuff like grass, ice, ghost, water, obviously, dark, fairy, fucking poison for some reason, and just a ridiculous slew of just annoying ass moves. Like the most annoying move in the game, if you ask me. String Slap, dude. Fuck String Slap. Another slow taunt user. It's faster than Jodigun. It's like this is a mid-tier taunt user is nice. Willow, Trick Room. Oh, and did I mention String Slap? Like, bruh, this thing is just super fucking annoying, and it's like a Pokemon that just is really annoying to prep for. Basically, good water immunity, good ghost type. I think it fits really nicely on this team, giving me a nice, like I said, water immunity, Scald switch in, because like I said, my team is primarily physical, so definitely gonna expect to see a lot of Scald spam, but we got Jellicent, so like you gotta think twice about it. Next up, my next pick was Inteleon. It was originally Ditto, but fuck Ditto. I didn't want Ditto, so I got rid of it immediately after the draft. Like, bruh, Ditto sucks. Like, there was nothing in tier 3 that I wanted. The tier 3 that I wanted got sniped, unfortunately. So I just grabbed something because I needed another tier 3, and thankfully Inteleon was still there after the draft, because I did want something faster than Scolipede. I had something in mind for like a tier 4 pick, but we'll get into that when we get to my tier 4. But yeah, dude, Inteleon's fine. Sniper Scope Lens is gonna be fun if we can make that work with like Focus Energy and what's the signature move? Oh god, what is its signature move? Oh Jesus, oh Jesus, oh Jesus, I can't think of it. I know its G-Max move is Hydro Snipe. What the fuck is its, what the hell is its Snipe Shot? That's the one. It has like good, not great coverage with like flying, psychic, and I believe it gets Shadow Ball as well, maybe Dark Pulse. Good, not great coverage. It's U-turn's cool for a Pokemon like this. It's really fast. Those screen sets are cool. I wish I got something like Focus Blast just to have it. It doesn't have, like I said, amazing coverage, but it'll be a fun mon to use, and it gives me that elite speed tear. I will never stop referencing that as long as I play Draft League. It's always going to be funny to me. Anyway, next up is our ground type, and 2.5 years of playing Draft League and trying to draft Rhyperior continues. Rhyperior was a tier 3 I originally wanted because Rhyperior is, like I mentioned, my like 3 to 5 favorite design Pokemon. Rhyperior is right up there. I fucking love Rhyperior so much, and I've never been able to draft it, and that just what is like making me love it more, because like distance makes the heart grow fonder, man. And I just really wanted Rhyperior, and I had, like I said, I had another tier 4 in mind for that speed tier that Inteleon provided, but unfortunately Rhyperior went literally like 2 or 3 picks before I was going to take it. I believe Brady sniped it. I don't remember who, but yeah, dude, fucking just rip, man. One of these days, man, I swear I'm gonna end up having to draft Rhyperior like round 3 to actually get it on. Fuck, I forgot how to talk. To actually get it on my team, but one of these days it'll happen. Anyway, the ground type that we actually have on this team is Piloswine. It was just one of those situations where like all the good ground types were off the board, because once again, like I had to risk either Jellicent, Jodigon, or Rhyperior. I just decided to risk like one of the 3 or 2 of the 3 basically, and it came down to Jellicent or Rhyperior, which one I was going to risk, and more people had ground types than had water types, so I took Jellicent. And unfortunately, the one person who like had a ground type before me took Rhyperior. That's just how it is, man. Anyway, Piloswine. I'm not a fan of Eviolite mons, but Piloswine is like widely considered to be the best of them. Like you can argue like it or Doublade, or I mean Porygon 2. Well, fuck, like Porygon 2 is obviously bar none better than those 2 Pokemon. I'm not talking about like, like whatever, dude. Porygon 2 is the best, and then it's like Piloswine or Doublade, depends on who you ask. But Piloswine's really solid, very bulky. Thick Fat is nice. I chose to over Rhydon primarily because Thick Fat helps more against like special ice types that are pretty annoying for this team. Kyurem specifically, Vanillix is another one, and there was like one other, like Alolan Ninetales it just helps with stuff like that. Because Rhydon obviously he does not want to take those hits, so we decided to go with Piloswine. Gives me another rocker. Knockoff is sick. I shove for priority. Curse of Rest Hawk if I feel like being a dick. It's solid. Like his baby Mammo, like it's gonna do stuff, man. It's a fine Pokemon. It's just, man, 2.5 years of trying to draft our period continues. Can I get an F in the comments, boys? Anyway, next up, I knew I wanted my electric type for this team to be immune to electric, and mainly because we have, you know, double water and Corviknight, so I wanted an electric immunity, and Manectric being one of the only decent Pokemon in tier 5 made that really a no-brainer. Gives me a solid speed tier in between Scolipede and Celebi, just to have, you know, that gap filled in. Not that you really need like that sort of gap filled in, because like what is in between 100 and, you know, 112 that isn't gonna be running max speed anyway? Like, it's not really a necessary speed tier, but whatever, dude, it's there. It's got a pretty bad move pool, but fire coverage is nice with Flamethrower and Overheat. Hyper Voice and Snarl are literally the only other special attacks it gets, which, to be fair, both of those can be useful in the right matchup. Switcher is cool to have. Unfortunately, if this thing got Weather Ball, it'd be lit. Unfortunately, it does not. Like, dude, give Manectric Weather Ball. That would be fucking sick. Or like, give it Ice Beam for some reason. I don't know, man. Just give it something to hit Grunt. Or like Grass Knot at least. Give it fucking Grass Knot, man. Come on. You know how much dumb shit gets Grass Knot? Dude, give Manectric Grass Knot, bro. But yeah, otherwise, fast offensive pivot, provides an electric immunity for Corviknight / the Double Waters. And last but not least, if you've been around this channel for a while, well, let's see if the third time can be a charm. Maybe this thing will get the redemption arc that it definitely doesn't deserve, but we'll see, dude. We have Hitmonchan. I fucking hate this Pokemon. I had it in UBL D League back in Gen 7, and I played Mega Diancie week 1. So I'm like, okay, cool, dude. Mega Diancie fucking runs through me. It's fine though. I have Hitmonchan. I'll just run Adamant fucking like Life Orb with Bullet Punch and kill it. Doesn't fucking kill. Iron Fist boosted Bullet Punch, Adamant, doesn't kill a Mega Diancie. Hitmonchan sucks, dude. I hate this Pokemon. And I've hated it ever since that day. I'm like, that's when I realized Hitmonchan was by far the worst out of 3 Hitmons, especially now that Hitmontop gets Technician Triple Axle, bro. Hitmonchan sucks. Fuck Hitmonchan. But it was originally Girder, but which would have been way better, dude. Status Absorber fucking still gives me removal, but Showdown are a bunch of Everstone deniers, so I can't get Girder traded to me unless I want to fucking EV train a Timber every week, or like get rare candies every week for a fucking Timber. Nah, dude, I wasn't worried about it, so I just dropped Girder. It's real dumb that Showdown doesn't have an Everstone coded in. So like you can't draft fucking, you know, trade evolution Pokemon, because the bot will just trade them to you and then they'll fucking evolve, and you can't cancel a trade evolution because Game Freak's dumb. So like, man, wish I had Girder, but like, nah, we just got fucking Hitmonchan, dude. Whatever. All jokes aside, it does give me a decent Rapid Spinner. That's like one of the few things that Hitmonchan does do well. It has a really cool move pool with Iron Fist, but it just doesn't do enough damage. It does have solid priority with Mach Punch and Bullet Punch. It's like the elemental punches, close combat, drain punch, throat chop. It gets cool coverage. It just doesn't do damage because for some reason, like with its decent attack stat, it just doesn't fucking do damage. I just have like a personal hate for it, but I'm hoping it finally proves me wrong and that it's just not useless. Like, it is by far my least favorite of the Hitmons and one of my least favorite Pokemon in Draft League period, because it just irks me. It's just an annoying Pokemon, man. I don't know, man. We just have a bad history. We got off on the wrong foot, Hitmonchan. I am willing to put all of my differences, all of my hatred aside for you and give you the redemption arc that you deserve, friend. Just fucking earn it. Just fucking do something. Do one thing. Get a kill. That's all I'm asking, Hitmonchan. That's all I'm fucking asking. But you can do that much. Anyway, that's about it for the team. Like I said in the beginning, 81% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed, so if you made it this far, you like something about my personality, consider hitting subscribe. Like I said, I'd love to hit 300 by the end of the year. That'd be sick. So yeah, dude, click subscribe, and also answer my questions. Who do you think my kill leader is going to be, and what do you think my record is going to be? I'm pretty sure it's a 12-week season. We play our boy Lieutenant Gold week 1, aka Dorian. Should be a fun one, and that's really all I got to say for this, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week for the wackiness that is going to be me and Dorian playing another Draft League game. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.